So he announced the slate, and the first movie on his slate is the one he talked about a while back that he was working on, but now it has a title and a release date. This is Superman Legacy, which is coming out July 11th of 2025. And James had this to say about the movie. He said it focuses on Superman balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing. He is the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way. He is kindness in a world that thinks of kindness as old fashioned. So, James, this is a story about Superman in his younger days. He is going to cost someone around 25 years old. And yeah, he's in the thick of it. He says he's working on it. But what are your guys' thoughts on his description and just the idea of a new Superman coming to theaters?
I will go last.
Oh, how much to dissect? One of the things I just want to point out now, I hope our audience does not think I'm being nitpicky when I bring up some things here. I will try and explain to the best of my ability. But before I let Kintoki go, I just want to point out Gunn's choice of words in a lot of the slate is very strange.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we're supposed to take what he says entirely literally, or if we're supposed to interpret it in a different way, as just like an example to give. We talk about him balancing like his Kryptonian heritage with his human heritage. Like what exactly are we supposed to take away from that? It feels like he's saying something but not really committing to it. And it could be interpreted in any way, like literally in any way, that him balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human heritage. Like I could probably just come out and say, oh, he probably has a house where one of his dads is Kryptonian and the other dad is human, right? And that's the household he lives in. And I that's a perfectly valid interpretation based on what he's saying.
Right, right.
So
Definitely,
yeah.
definitely the whole description of him balancing his human and Kryptonian heritage, it did make me raise one eyebrow. But what do you think about it, Kintoki?
I would also just like to start by saying, unlike my compatriots over here, I very much run on an agenda. So expect that. Get used to it. Um, Look, I'm not going to be somewhat pretentious here and act like I'm a Superman enthusiast, but I do enjoy the character's ideals. Or at the very
Mm-hmm.
least, I do enjoy what his ideals are supposed to be. Um, as we've seen, those ideals normally get mudded in most of the movies we've watched, save for
Snyder.
Richard Donner's run. Gonna ignore that. But in any case, uh, in any
Nice
case,
sense
I
beef.
I want to say, on the one hand, I did enjoy the promise that James Gunn has given us, but I still, like most people, have Snyder PTSD. So I don't know. I don't want to take what he says at face value. I'd rather just patiently wait. But James Gunn has a history of being pretty out there with what he says. So he'll tell you one thing and then give you the most outlandish version of what he said,
Wow.
which makes him not a liar, but very much untrustworthy.
Misleading.
Kevin
Exactly.
Feige moment.
He's gonna get the hats. Wait till he gets the hats. Once he starts wearing the hats, we need to ring the alarms. I That's when it gets a
Again,
bit weird. But yeah,
Yeah, so I just want to quickly get into something here,
right.
right? For those who are listening, you might not know, we actually did like a test recording of this very video and we talked about a couple of points. One of them being that he stands for truth, justice, and the American way. Once again, it could be nitpicky to break that down, but it's just what does the American way mean in the
mm,
present, especially
Word,
considering he follows that up with he is kind in a world where they think that's old fashioned. So
word.
if the world doesn't even agree on what kindness is, in that it is old fashioned or it's not, how can they agree on what the American way is, and how can he therefore stand for it? It's it kind of makes me a bit, I don't know, not very optimistic as to what the story could turn out to be,
Yeah.
especially as a first movie.
A
You
lot
know.
of people on Twitter were very um apprehensive about how he worded that because everyone on Twitter is adamant about, listen, it's truth, justice, and a better tomorrow, not the American way. That's something that I saw someone said actually it was a radio advert back in the day that said that just to like use Superman as propaganda for I think the war or something. But it's
What else
actually
is
supposed
new?
to be a better tomorrow, and that's why he is the man of tomorrow. So if we probably change that phrasing, that he's the man of tomorrow, he fights for a better tomorrow, maybe people will be more at ease with how he was going for it. But the wording choice, like Mono said, yeah, a lot of the word choices Gunn uses for his slate projects, it's like, I mean, dog, I don't know if I can trust you, you know?
Or sometimes it just sounds like he's trying to, I don't know, like get a reaction out of people, right? It will come up later on as to something else that he mentions. And it's like, I feel that was purely just so that people could talk about it and have a reaction rather than actually him trying to inform you of anything new. But yeah, I think perhaps in defense of Gunn, maybe he didn't say truth, justice, and a better tomorrow because he immediately follows up with he's kind in a world that thinks it's old fashioned. So it would be kind of strange to say he's the man of tomorrow, but he's old fashioned. Maybe that
Uh-huh.
was the reason he was just kind of big braining it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you got that white hair going. That's big brain hair. So, yeah, Superman Legacy releases in theaters on July 11th, 2025. I will be seated, of course, and I'll check that out. But next on the slate,
Hey there, this is Saint George coming to you live from the editing setup. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to our channel. If you want to see more of our content, please feel free to browse through our channel and check out the rest of our videos. Feel free to comment in the comment sections. It's our podcast and it's your podcast. See you around.